Hi again, everyone. I'm Ollie Matthews. This is the Narcissistic Resistance, and this resistance video is sponsored by contribution from Sonia. And here's her story. Hello, Ollie. I'm back again with another letter, hoping to get some honest perspective from you. This time is about my oldest daughter. My last letter had mentioned that my oldest daughter had some narc qualities that were concerning. I believe that this is because of the influence my mother and sister has had over her while I was raising her as a single mom. However, my husband is convinced it is genetics, and I'm starting to think he could be right. I didn't go into it because we do not talk all that much to her, and things were in remission, so to speak, at that time. I was hoping that things were getting better and she was maturing since having her daughter, but boy was I wrong. After sending you my last letter regarding my mother and sister, I am still no contact with them. They seem to be satisfied with this and have not heard from them, except a text from my mother playing the martyr and asking for forgiveness. It's all BS, so I just ignored. This is a game she plays all the time, trying to guilt me, so I blocked the numbers. Now my mother is posting on my daughter's Facebook page about how you should take care of your mother and love her and cherish her, etc. It's so manipulative. I'm not surprised though, because she and my sister essentially have tried to write me out of the family, but they make sure they insert my oldest daughter in my place, so to speak. An example of this is a video my sister did of the family legacy. I was none of it, but all of my family and oldest daughter was. I find this amusing, seeing how my mother wanted me to have an abortion when she found out I was pregnant. Right. Isn't it amazing once we're out of the picture? Okay, how they'll come and try to take our children away from us. You know, and I've said this before. I've said this a million times. My ex-wife probably had one of the most difficult pregnancies you can have with Aaron. She was the biggest person you've ever seen, and by the end, she couldn't go 5 minutes without her feet completely swelling. It was crazy. I mean, and all that time was my parents' assault over this baby furniture fight that we had, and I had tried to go no contact, and they could have cared less about the health of my ex-wife, the pregnancy, or Aaron. They were trying to cause a fucking miscarriage. Without a doubt in my mind, they were trying to cause a miscarriage. But all that changes. I mean, that's one of the biggest ironies of this. I am not surprised, but it's still an eye-opener for sure. Thank goodness I deleted my mother and sister from all social media so she cannot post on my page. My daughter hasn't deleted them, even though she knows her game, because she likes getting money from her from time to time. Anyways, things seem to have cooled down for our little family. My husband, youngest daughter who's 8, and our 2 dogs and myself. We were starting to get our groove back with us doing our own thing and seeing our granddaughter every other weekend for a few hours. Well, things have taken a turn. Like I mentioned before, we rarely talk to our daughter. This is mutual because I have recently realized that my daughter complains to me about things going on with her boyfriend and his family, and if I say anything positive or negative, then she uses it against me. It's as if these are the things she wants to say but doesn't have the guts to say them. She goes back to her boyfriend and his family and says them, but says I said it, even though she asked me for advice or vented to me about it, then turned the whole thing around on me. Oh, kind of like what my brother did. This is just a tactic, Be careful when the narc is venting to you, because when the narc is venting to you, they're always setting you up for something. They're setting you up for something, and you're thinking as they're venting to you, oh, maybe she finally gets it now. Maybe she finally sees it about my mother and sister. Maybe she finally sees it now. Maybe that's what this is about. Maybe we're bonding over this. No, she's just using you to then run back to, in this case, with her boyfriend, and just to assign you all the things she really wants to say, because your daughter's a coward. Much like my brother, he's a coward. No spine, spineless. Coward. Why? She don't want to give up the money. Much like my brother. Don't want to give up the inheritance. Don't want to give up the money. And quite frankly, doesn't want to cut the umbilical cord from mommy. But he'll use me trying to put me back in the crosshairs. And in your case, your daughter will use you as the bad guy to say what she can't say to her boyfriend. It's nuts. I can't even begin to explain all the things she has done to betray this family. This summer, we had to change the locks on our house before going on vacation this past year because she tends to come over to our house and case the place out for things to steal. Not like big things, but like anything that's easy to grab. Several gift cards, jewelry, money laying around, etc. The lack of respect is legit. She has even stolen money countless times out of her little sister's piggy bank, and she knows it's a jackpot because we put dollar bills in it. I find myself hiding my purse and my husband's wallet when and if her and her boyfriend do come over. When we left for vacation, lo and behold, she was standing at our front door asking us why she couldn't get in. She said she needed to do laundry. She has never once come over to do laundry. I think a lot of this is because we made the mistake of basically spoiling her and giving her anything she wanted that we could at the time to make her happy. Giving her opportunity after opportunity, all for her to throw it away. Great education, extracurricular activities, opportunities to go to college, letting her do whatever she basically wanted, parties, going out, etc. She was the only child for 15 years. She said she wanted space, we gave her space, but then she complained when we gave it to her. She said she needed help when she got pregnant, and we moved her in and provided furniture, clothing, etc., and it wasn't good enough. Nothing is ever good enough for her. So when her little sister was born, that brought up a whole other issue. She became jealous of her. Her boyfriend even acts like an asshole towards her little sister now. It's disgusting. After my miscarriage, which she avoided acknowledging, including the pregnancy, just like my mother and sister, we decided to get a new rescue dog. We thought it would be good for our family and our other dog, who seemed a bit lonely. Our oldest daughter found out we adopted without her knowledge and she flipped out. Your daughter just doesn't want to grow. Your daughter wants to be an adult child. So she wants to live on her own, but she still wants to bully you around like the spoiled princess she was at 14 and 15. She was genuinely pissed and angry that we dare do something like this without involving or asking first. I was honestly shocked by her reaction. Now she and her boyfriend treat the other dog like crap. It's very sad. They literally don't care about it and for it to get away from them. The only other time I have seen something like this is when my sister has acted jealous of my oldest daughter at the age of 8. My oldest is what you would call a very strong-willed child. She acts like I am enemy, but I have done nothing to her other than try to give her what she wants, love her, and lend an ear when she needs it. Don't get me wrong, I'm not perfect, and I will tell her what I think is the truth, but that makes me the bad guy, of course. Believe me, I'm not without fault here. I have acted in ways that are shameful and embarrassing. I am certain I have my own issues, but I do not think I am all that different from other parents. There are worse, there are better. I am imperfect. I can own it, but I am tired of being the only one that owns their shit. Why can't everybody else own theirs too? The scapegoating is continuing, and I am tired of it. The most recent event that has taken place is when my husband told our oldest daughter, she is 24 by the way, that we were moving on with our lives and that we wanted to be able to still have a relationship with her and our granddaughter, even though we are planning on moving out of state. We talked positively about visits and how we were looking forward to making some good memories when they come to visit. Apparently this pissed her off. Now she is telling us that her, our granddaughter, and her boyfriend are the ones that are moving on with their lives, and they are now going to be moving out of state, etc. We're like, okay, great, good for y'all. We wish you all the best. We want you to do what makes you happy. We just want to be able to see you all in the future. Well, that pissed her off too. Yeah, because what she was doing is, I'm going to run, because your adult child is playing, I'm going to run away from home. And he didn't recognize it. She's acting like a child threatening to run away from home. I swear I could do nothing right. So on Halloween, she came to trick-or-treat in our neighborhood with our granddaughter, and we left afterwards to eat at a local pizza place to spend some time with them. She spent the whole night bitching about her boyfriend's family, telling us how they broke up for a couple of days, and she left. We never heard from her when this happened, and how basically his mom is keeping our granddaughter and has deemed her unfit. Also said when her and her boyfriend split, the mother told her son to get full custody and they would take off and move to another state. I was like, are you kidding me? Well, that is when I opened my big mouth and spoke my truth. I told her that we didn't appreciate being treated like we didn't have any rights to see our granddaughter, and that it was wrong for them to think that they could just get custody and take off. Sounds like she's setting you up for something. Well, she told us that everything was resolved and that they were fine and all is well. His mother is supposed to get a huge settlement from some sexual harassment case from a corporation she used to work for in town, and they are waiting on that, and they are going to do X, Y, and Z with the money she gives them. Insert eye roll here. If I had a dime for every time I heard something like this from her, I would be a millionaire. So because they are believing this, she is essentially giving over control to the mom and boyfriend and are basically allowing our granddaughter to be raised by his mother. If you really want to get super petty, this woman was being called Grammy, and she found out that the baby was going to be calling me Mimi, and now she is saying she is being called Mimi. I mean, in all honesty, it doesn't matter to me. She can call us both that. I'd find it kind of creepy if this is the case. This didn't start until after the big fight we had with our oldest daughter about them trying to get custody. I feel sort of silly even bringing this up because it really isn't that big of a deal, but I feel it has been perpetuated by my oldest daughter to cause some more drama to get under my skin. I'm not taking the bait though. That's what it sounds like to me. I told my husband that my oldest daughter and granddaughter were the last thing I had to work through before we took off to a new state. Looks like that is happening now. So what is my point to all this? Well, other than the fact that I feel totally crazy, shameful, embarrassed, and at fault for 99% of it, I want to know if going no contact with my daughter is a good idea. My husband and I figured if he is the point of contact for everything from phone pickups for my granddaughter, dropping off Christmas gifts, etc., then we can still see our granddaughter, but won't have to deal with our oldest right now. You are delusional. Your daughter's a spoiled little princess brat. You think you can just gonna go no contact from her. She is not. She's gonna use her daughter, use whatever she can. In fact, we are not sure we will be seeing our daughter on Thanksgiving either. We are okay with this because we do not want to deal with the drama. It seems like every holiday, vacation, or when she is over, she starts drama. So we would rather have peace than have that for our own sanity. I know it seems selfish, but we can't help it. It truly reminds me of how my mother would always act on the holidays or another time. Always drama and outbursts when everyone got together. Let me be so bold to say what I am giving you right now is extreme surface. There's so much more to go into that our daughter has done, but I don't want to take up too much of your time. This should give you a bit of an idea of what we're dealing with, so I would love to know your thoughts on the sheer pettiness, Ollie. Thanks, Sonia. You spoiled the little bitch. You spoiled her rotten and you made her into a narcissistic little monster. She's not just gonna agree, not let you see her. Look, you're cutting off access to yourself, to your money, to your possessions, to your to your supply, your daughter's not going to handle that very well. She's going to either cause a crisis for herself that you have to respond to, withhold your daughter, cause a problem. It's not going to end. It's not going to end here. You know, if you're going to move out of state, you're going to have to be prepared for your daughter to withhold your grandchild from you. It's going to be a tactic it's going to use if you're going to cut your daughter out. Your daughter has a lot of growing up to do because you've always been there to bail her out for everything and all her shitty behavior. And it sounds like, you know, from your past with your mother and your own family, you know, they just turn your own kids against you anyway. For your youngest daughter's concerned, you need to get her away, her out of there, because otherwise you're going to be dealing with her at 24 in the same fashion. And you don't want that. Sometimes you just got to let your narcissistic child grow up on their own. Okay, you've done everything you can for her. And if she's going to use the grandchild as leverage, there's not much you can do about it. But the more you fight it, okay, the more she's going to twist you to get whatever she wants out of you. So if you want to end it, you're going to have to make a decision to end it and be prepared for the consequences of her manipulating you or cutting off access to the grandchild. So I hope that helps, Sonia. Thank you so much for your contribution and your story. Thank you to everybody watching. Please leave any opinions or advice in the comment section below. And again, if you want your story read on the channel, you have a topic you'd like me to cover, a narcissist you'd like to expose, you'd like to set up Skype, a phone call, have a private video made, or a Facebook live chat, or you'd like to sponsor a video like this for someone who needs help and can't afford it, or just make a contribution to the channel in general so it can succeed, grow, and expand, because remember, this channel survives 100% on contributions from all of you. Without all of you, this all goes away. So if you like what you see here and you want to see more videos like this, you know what to do with the PayPal and email links in the description box. Also, please like and share this video wherever you can. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and be sure to click the subscription bell to be notified of all my video uploads. I'm Ollie Matthews. This has been the Narcissistic Resistance.